Hi, Miss Miller. Hi, students. How you doing? I'm just popping in here very briefly because I want to mention a few points about the government of the city-states that you're studying or you have studied already. We will be speaking about Greece for a little while next year because the government of the city-states has a lot to do with how the United States government was formed. We borrow a lot of ideas from the Greeks when we set up our government that we have today. But we have to go back and realize how important geography plays in history, because this is one of the best examples that you can have. You have a country, Greece, that is surrounded by water, huge mountains. You can't go far without climbing up or down a very, very steep hill or swimming. So the villages that were settled, the polis, are very remotely located. And when it came time to make decisions that affected everybody living in the village, well, the citizens of those villages had to make the decision. This is the power of the people, or the demos kratia, from which we get the word democracy, as you know. This is it in action. Say that the problem is there's pigs running all around the village and we need to corral them somehow. Some families say, well, why don't we limit the number of pigs so we can keep in our families? So there's a big debate. Oh yeah, we can have 4 pigs or you can have 10 pigs. So they decide to have a vote on this topic, and everybody goes to the agora on a given day, and all the citizens of the city-state vote. All of them vote. Say there's 1,000. In Athens there was probably 6,000 citizens voting. But in the smaller villages, 1,000, 400, it's possible that there was 300 people living in some of these remote city-states. And they would go there and vote. And what would be the deciding factor? Right, the majority. It always is. The majority would they would count the votes, and whoever had the majority of votes, that's what the law would be. This is how laws were made in the city-states, by a majority. That is a feature of democracy. Now, in the United States, we also have majority voting. In fact, it's part of our life. Every weekend you use democracy when you decide on what movie you're going to go to if you're with 4 or 5 or 6 friends. What do you want to see? Everybody wants to see something different. Well, you take a vote, and whatever movie gets the most votes, that's the movie you go and see. That's democracy at work. That's direct democracy. Everybody is participating. But in the government of the United States, in the democracy that we have here in this country, not everybody participates. Not all the citizens can participate because we have such a huge population. Even when we were first beginning, our population was too big to fit all citizens into one place to make decisions about how many pigs we can have in our backyard. And believe me, there were votes like that in the colonies in the 1700s. What we do take from the Greek form of democracy is this idea of democracy. What we don't do is do it directly. All the citizens in Greece and the city-states were allowed to vote on the issues. In this country, we elect people to make the laws for us. We just had one in November when 120, 200 million people went to vote to elect representatives to make our laws for us. So we elect representatives to go to the agora to make, which is Congress, to make our laws. This is called indirect democracy. Different from Greece. In Greece, everybody participated. In the United States, we can't do it. So we elect people to do it for us, and it's called indirect democracy, or representative democracy. And the story doesn't end there. When we get to Rome, the Roman Republic, we'll take some elements of the Roman government, the Republic of Rome, and combine that with this ancient Greek democracy, demos kratia, and we get what we have today, which is a democratic republic. The United States is a democratic republic. You say it every day when you say the Pledge of Allegiance. And it's a representative form of democracy, an indirect democracy. Similar to Greece because we use the majority, but not direct. Did I confuse you? Is democracy the best form of government? If you look at everything else, monarchies, dictatorships, oligarchies, is democracy the best form of government? We'll find out what happens to the democracy in Greece. In the United States, we're still testing it out. We're not that old of a country yet. But anyway, I'll let you go back to your studies, and I will see you in Rome.